Okay, changing the OEM tire to the whatever that is, Michelin City Pro. I'm going to change it to this tire, see what all the hoo-ha is about. Fast forward it for you. Okay, I always remove the right side first. That way I don't have to keep flipping the wheel over. I take all the screws out. Yeah. Did I take the middle screws out? Yeah. So it's just stuck on the double-sided tape of the batteries. Remember, when you go to put these back on, don't over torque it or you're going to break the plastic. Then and never grab the wheel by the tire, because when you lift it up your hand is going to slip and you will bust your fingers between the tire and the shell. Make sure there is no wires that is going to get pinched when you do this. Yes, you are correct. I didn't need to remove this from the other side. It's old age. Okay, so first thing, disconnect XT60 and discharge. Okay, now to the next. So you need to do the same. 8 bolts here, motor wires out, hall sensors out, and feed the wires through and drop them out. Okay, disconnecting motor wires. Tell you what, Monster Pro is one of the wheels I hate working on. Just so Anyway, so before you remove the motor wires, make sure you know which way the colors are going. It's going to be yellow, blue, green. On all Gotways is the same, minus the EX and the EXN. They have mounted the motherboard upside down, so it would be green, blue, yellow if you're going from left side. But double check. You never know when things get changed. And green. Okay. And then the hall sensor. Look at this stupid thing. Okay, hall sensor. Let's see if I've worked on this wheel before. Well, I haven't dropped the motor, so yeah, the hall sensor is still got all that goop on it. So you need to cut the goop. Be careful you don't cut things you shouldn't be cutting. And then these connectors are so tight against one another, you can't even get your fingers in. Do not pull from the wire, whatever you do. Just rock it back and forth until the goop gives up. Now be very careful with these thin wires. Okay. Then all you need to do is pull. Make sure you feed the wire so it's not getting caught on anything. Oops. And we're done. Okay. Okay. If you ever work on the motor, make sure you write here somewhere which way this motor wire comes out of the hollow. Because if you push this motor wire the other way and mount it, then you're gonna mess yourself up a little. What you need to do is release air. Okay. Then get your levers or whatever you use. Okay. This is just soapy water. A nice bench to work on would be good. But I'm in the process of redoing stuff in my house, so just don't have access. So a 2-minute job becomes a 2-hour job. It's the inner tube. Okay. Before you put the valve in, slime has fiber, and if that gets into the core, you will leak air. Not just slime, any of these tire sealants. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hey. At this point, I like to go inside, check the rim. At this point, you can go ahead and feel this guy for any burrs, okay? If you have burrs in there where they drilled a hole and didn't clean it, just use a round file and clean out the burrs. Okay, before installation, obviously you want to let all the air out. So be careful you don't lose the core. Don't let it shoot out. folding it as so, to let absolutely all the air out to make my life easier. I may put talcum powder. Thank you. Zuzu, can you give me talcum powder? I think it's upstairs in the bathroom.
You want baby powder? I don't know what that is.
Baby powder, yeah. Damn Germans. Okay, so there, so that it doesn't suck the air back in a little bit, I put my core back in. Especially without the right equipment. Son of a bitch. Okay. Now, we're gonna work. Alright. Good God Almighty. Put that nut on there quickly. Whew. Where you going, dog? You stay here, baby. Good girl. Come see how daddy's mentally retarded. Okay, so just start. Where is my... Yeah, here the problem starts. This was gonna be a... So I've got 50 water and Dawn. I think it just comes down to brute force and a lot of lube. And then when I get towards the end there, I'll start using what's the word I'm looking for? God, there's no amount of money anybody can pay me to change tire on a Monster Pro. Because this last part is gonna be the problem. Now, let's see if this does anything. If this can help whatsoever. I'm going to take it actually on the ground and see if I can fight with it. Basically at this point is just using whatever system you want to. Just to get that last footing. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see if I'll pinch the inner tube. Okay, now you're putting it back in, so make sure all your wires are there. Make sure you take your time, don't snag your wires. Okay, then ow, my back. And it's a question of lining up all your holes, but don't tighten them all, because if you tighten these, you may make your life a bit more difficult when you go to the other side. So I basically just finger tight these, making sure they're not cross threaded. Just make sure you're not going to snag these wires. God, my back is giving me working on this stupid shit. Okay, now you can go ahead, do this side, and you can go ahead and tighten this side once you get them in. And here is the reason I say don't tighten, because this side's holes aren't matching up. So now you can move this around, get it on, tighten these screws, put this shell cover, turn it over, do the same on the other side. Plug in your XT60, test, and off you pop. Okay, I was gonna put the last bolt in and I noticed it wasn't going in. Yes, I have very dirty fingers because I've been working on a dirty wheel. Okay, I noticed it wasn't going in right, and it wasn't because I was cross threading, but if you can see, it is galled right there at the first couple of threads. You see that? Right there. You see that kind of feels filled up. Okay, so you don't want to use this bolt, otherwise you're going to mess up your threads inside the wheel and then you have issues. So just get a new one. There you go. See, nice and clean. So remember that. Okay, with my Milwaukee gun, I have it set to 10, and that seems to be the right torque. Okay, the other side is already tightened up. And then I put a dab of silicone. Start from the bottom, from the shell, and rub it on the side of the screw, bolt, whatever. And that stops the bolt from backing out. Right being the front of the wheel. So from left it will be yellow, blue, green. Okay, double check, don't take my word for it. So yellow, blue. If you are colorblind, then make markings first before you take the wires off. Yellow there. Then plug in your hall sensor. Take all the goop off so it goes in the connector nice and flush. Make sure you're not forcing it. If you're putting it in the wrong way, it just won't go in. So take your time. Once it's in there, if you want to put a dab of silicone, obviously make sure your silicone is not conductive. Okay, there and there. Okay, there. The usual cutaway spark. That's why I use my, I made the anti-spark. Okay, and here we go. Get ready for fire. All right, good job. Okay, thank you. Tally ho, bye bye now. I hope you enjoyed the comedy classic, watching disabled people work on tires. Tally ho.